I want to tell you a story that's honestly hard for me to talk about, but I know someone out there needs it. Maybe that someone is you. And if it is, I want you to stick with me until the end, because this isn't just a story about pain. It's a story about rescue. A story about how Jesus saved me from the darkest moment of my life. For a long time, I carried this heaviness in my chest that I couldn't explain to anyone. I would wake up and feel like my breath was made of concrete. I'd go through my day pretending everything was fine, smiling, joking, keeping busy. But inside, it felt like there was this voice whispering, "You're not enough. You're failing. Nobody would care if you disappeared." And the worst part? I started believing it. There were nights when I would stare at my ceiling and wonder how much longer I could keep pretending. Nights where the silence in my room felt louder than any scream I could ever make. Nights where the thought of giving up didn't scare me anymore. It almost felt like relief. And when you reach that point, you start to think things you never thought you'd think. You start to imagine endings. You start to imagine escape. But here's the thing. Even when I didn't realize it, God was watching me, not in a judgmental way, not in a "you better get your life together" way. It was more like a father sitting beside a child who's crying, waiting for the moment he can hold them. I didn't know it then, but he was already preparing the moment that would pull me back. One night, I hit the point where I thought I couldn't do it anymore. I remember sitting alone, completely numb. I wasn't crying. I wasn't panicking. I was just empty. Emptiness is scary because it feels peaceful, right before it destroys you. In that moment, I seriously thought about ending everything. I thought nobody would care. I thought my absence would hurt nobody. And then, something happened that I still can't fully explain. My phone buzzed. Just one notification. Normally, I would have ignored it, but for some reason, I picked it up. And it was a verse. From someone I barely talked to anymore. Maybe they were scrolling and thought of me. Maybe God nudged their heart. The verse was simple. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." I read it once, then again, and then again. And with every repetition, it felt like the numbness cracked just a little. Something in my chest suddenly felt warm. Not comfortable, not painless, but warm enough for me to feel alive again. Warm enough for me to feel something other than emptiness. I didn't know what to do, so I just whispered, "God, I need help." That's literally all I said. Not a fancy prayer, not a sermon, just a broken, tired whisper. And I swear to you, the moment those words left my mouth, I felt this presence. Like someone was sitting beside me, holding me, like someone was telling me, "You're not alone. Not tonight. Not ever." And suddenly, I started crying. Not a gentle tear, but the type of crying that shakes your entire body. Crying that feels like your soul ripping open. But instead of feeling embarrassed or weak, I felt safe. I felt like I didn't have to hold the pain anymore. I didn't have to carry everything by myself. I didn't have to pretend. It felt like Jesus himself stepped into that room, sat with me, and said, "I'm not letting you go." And that moment didn't magically fix my life. It didn't erase every problem, but it gave me something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. A reason to wake up. A reason to keep breathing. A reason to say, maybe things can get better. For the next few days, I kept praying even when I didn't know what to say. Sometimes I just stared at the wall and whispered, "Help me." Sometimes I just sat in silence. But every time, I felt that same presence, that same warmth, that same gentle reminder that I was alive for a reason. And as the days passed, Jesus started showing me things I had forgotten. He reminded me of the people who actually loved me, even if they didn't always show it perfectly. He reminded me of the dreams I had buried under stress and disappointment. He reminded me of the strength I didn't think I had. And most importantly, he reminded me that my story wasn't over. There was a moment a few weeks after that night where I realized something. I realized that if Jesus hadn't reached me exactly when he did, I wouldn't be here to tell this story. That moment wasn't an accident. That verse wasn't an accident. That whisper wasn't an accident. It was a rescue mission. And the craziest part is that Jesus didn't show up because I was strong. He didn't show up because I was doing the right things. He showed up because I was broken. He showed up because I was hurting. He showed up because he loved me even when I didn't love myself. A lot of people think God only listens when you pray perfectly, or live perfectly, or act perfectly. But I'm telling you right now, Jesus comes running the fastest when you're at your lowest, when your voice is shaking, when your heart is tired, when all you can say is, please. And maybe you're watching this right now and you're feeling some of the things I felt. Maybe you've had nights where the silence felt heavy. Maybe you've had thoughts you're scared to admit. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you feel invisible. Maybe you think nobody would care if you left. But let me tell you something. Jesus cares. More deeply than you can understand. More fiercely than anyone on earth. He sees every tear. He hears every broken thought. And he doesn't push you away. He doesn't get tired of you. He doesn't say, that's too much. He says, give it to me. If God can take someone like me, someone who was ready to disappear, someone who felt like nothing mattered anymore, and breathe life back into my chest, then he can do the same for you. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not forgotten. You are not a mistake. And you are definitely not alone. I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine Jesus sitting beside you exactly where you are. Not judging, not angry, just sitting, calm, present, holding your hand, whispering, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Just breathe. That's what saved my life. Not a miracle that came from the sky. Not a voice of thunder. Not a dramatic sign. Just his presence. His love. His whisper. And because of that night, because of that rescue, I wake up today with a purpose I didn't know I had. I live with gratitude. I live with hope. I live with this mission in my heart to remind anyone who feels the way I felt that their story can change too. You don't have to know how to fix everything. You don't have to pretend to be strong. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to hold on long enough for God to reach you. And he will. He always does. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like breaking, I want you to hear me clearly. Don't let go. Not yet. Not tonight. Not this week. Jesus is closer than you think. Closer than your pain. Closer than your fear. Closer than your darkest thought. He saved me when I couldn't save myself, and he can do the same for you. Just whisper his name, even if your voice shakes, even if you don't know what to say after. Just whisper, Jesus, and let him hold you the way he held me. Your story isn't over. You're still here for a reason. And one day, you're going to look back on this moment, just like I do, and say, that was when God stepped in. That was when everything started to change. So keep going. Keep breathing. Keep praying, even if the prayer is messy. Keep believing that Jesus can meet you in the dark, because he will. He saved me, and he can save you too.